JJ McCarthy is coming into his sophomore season with only one drive as a starting QB, which came in a preseason game. McCarthy had torn his meniscus in a practice after this preseason game and ended up sitting for the entirety of his rookie year, sitting behind Sam Darnold. With this being said, JJ McCarthy is kind of in a weird spot, going into his sophomore season without any real NFL experience and becoming the full-time starter for the Vikings. This is JJ McCarthy's first full game since playing in the national championship in 2023, and he's already on thin ice from fans. Many still really don't believe in McCarthy and believe he will be a bust. On the other hand, Kevin O'Connell, who is deemed the QB whisperer, is doing everything he can to develop McCarthy into someone worthy of becoming the Vikings' future starter. O'Connell was able to do this with Sam Darnold and other backups that had to come in for the Vikings, as they always kind of have someone up next. With that being said, I truly believe that this year JJ McCarthy will stand himself into the league with a solid season and help prove O'Connell's QB Whisperer title. Looking back in time, JJ McCarthy's junior season at Michigan could only be described as efficient. 22 touchdowns to 4 interceptions with 2,900 yards in the air is nothing special. You see the efficiency stats. He had 22 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I can't really do the math in my head about what that would be in touchdown to interception ratio, but that's a great ratio. But it's kind of deeper than that. JJ McCarthy had 9.99 yards per pass, which put him at 12th in 2023. He was ninth in QB rating, sixth in completion percentage, 12th in yards per attempt, ninth best interception percentage, which basically means he just didn't throw interceptions as the starter. For Michigan, the play calling was a ground and pound style with some deep plays mixed in to throw the defenses off guard. JJ was able to extend plays with his legs and his throw in the run skills allowed him to be efficient outside of the pocket, not only inside of the pocket. McCarthy was drafted as a true junior coming into the league very young and still having what most analysts would say was NFL ready football. In a Bleacher Report article made the day he got drafted, McCarthy was given comparisons to Baker Mayfield, and McCarthy was the fourth best projected QB in the 2024 draft behind Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels, which we're going to have to see because those three have already proved themselves on their teams. Drake May's coming into the season playing 10 games last season and already had proved himself in that Patriots offense. They're already building around him. Caleb Williams just got deeper Bears team. He finally has an offensive coordinator and coach that trust him, and Jaden Daniels did what Jaden Daniels did last season. People say he was carried to the Natty by a stacked Michigan roster, and the recent cheating allegations did not make this any easier for him, especially coming into the season completely unproven as a starter. Not only that, in an important Penn State game in 2023 for Michigan, McCarthy had only thrown the ball 8 times against the ninth-ranked Penn State, which was heavily scrutinized by fans. He had less than 70 yards passing. He only threw the ball 8 times. He completed it 7 times, which probably is what helped lead Michigan to the win. But you don't want to see that out of a franchise QB. That being said, after this Penn State game, in 4 of the most important games of the season for Michigan, McCarthy would deliver exactly what a star QB would do. 16 for 20, 80% completion percentage, 148 yards, 7.4 yards per attempt, and 1 touchdown against 2-seed Ohio State in the last game of the season to put Michigan as the 2 seed going into the playoffs. Then 22 for 30, 73.3% completion percentage, 147 yards, 4.9 yards per attempt against 18-seed Iowa in the Big Ten championships. Then went on 17 for 27, 63% completion percentage, 221 yards passing, 8.2 yards per attempt, and 3 passing touchdowns with 25 yards on the ground in the Rose Bowl against 5-seed Alabama. And then 10 for 18, 55% completion percentage, 140 yards, 7.8 yards per attempt against 2-seed Washington in the Natty with 31 yards on the ground. While his stats do take a little bit of a dip in the Natty, 3 straight do-or-die games, JJ McCarthy delivered like a winning QB would, throwing 0 interceptions and leading Michigan to blowout wins in every single game. Looking back to his NFL future, coming off of a torn meniscus and playing no real NFL snaps would be will be difficult. It really will. But I believe this is a great spot for him. His meniscus injury in the preseason will be huge for his development, as I am personally a huge believer in the fact that rookie QBs should not start immediately in the NFL. Happy with Drake May. He came in, started to look elite for the Patriots. Happened to Bryce Young. He wasn't looking good. They set him behind um not Sam Darnold, the Red Rifle, and he again started to deliver. You're setting up a young QB for success if you allow them to sit behind a veteran for a year. Not only that, but being able to develop with O'Connell and see his offense for the sideline will be super important for McCarthy's development. Not only that, but building his connection with superstar Justin Jefferson and building team morale with the defense, you essentially are building this team to become yours from the beginning. Doesn't matter who's starting because it is now your team. From O'Connell's side, if you can get McCarthy to develop and learn your offense for a whole year, you allow yourself to open up your offense to become more creative with your plays. Now, I don't know if O'Connell's the true play caller, but him being able to sit for the entire of the year gets him to know what he's getting into before, with pretty much no pressure coming into it to learn the play calling, to learn anything. He is just coming in fresh. Now, looking to the future of the Vikings and McCarthy, they are currently in the best position for McCarthy to win now and prove why he was a top 10 draft pick. One of his best 1-2. The Vikings currently have one of the best 1-2 punches at wide receiver in the league, a top 2 wide receiver in the league, not only, a top 5 O line in the league, and a solid proven defense with a great defensive coordinator. Not only that, but the Vikings are coming off of a 14-3 season, losing in a heartbreaking fashion to the Rams in the playoffs. While Sam Darnold had a great season, he really didn't provide winning football to the Vikings in the playoffs. A depleted O line and Rams defensive game plan that took out the best weapon from the game made Darnold look lost and seeing ghosts. With McCarthy at the helm, now you have a QB who will be able to stay calm in the pocket, and if in the same situation, help provide efficient football to a Vikings team who is one good QB away from being a Super Bowl contender. If O'Connell is truly the QB whisperer, JJ McCarthy should be his greatest development of all time.